Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I store my gouache in this palette. I got this palette on Temu and I am going to be mixing my gouache in then. I've always tried the dry method where I put my gouache on my ceramic palette, but one thing I noticed is that it dries up, and then when I use it, when I want to use it again, I have to reactivate it with water. Well, with this method, I'm going to be storing my Merry Gouache Extra Fine. I have had issues with the two gouache that I've tried. I've tried Paul Rubens and I've tried Winston & Newton. And I really didn't like what I was experiencing with them. So I'm going to be trying my Merry Blue. I got this from Amazon. I'm going to be leaving a link. And I'm going to see how this does. I have not heard a lot about it, but I'm just going to try it. But another thing that people have complained about is mold. When they store their gouache in a palette like this and they cover it, they've complained about mold. But I'm going to be showing you a method that would prevent you from having mold in your gouache. I think they call this a wet method because my instructor that on Domestica mentioned that she puts honey. She mixes honey and water in a droplet bottle like this, and she puts it in her gouache when she's mixing it. And every day she sprays it with water. She sprays it with a spray bottle. And another person mentioned that they use clove oil. So I'm going to be doing this in here with the clove and water. And I'm going to be doing another one with honey and water. And I'm going to see which is going to preserve my gouache, because I don't want to keep having to reactivate the one in my ceramic palette, because I noticed that it cracks and it drops everywhere. It's not staying, it's not binding together once it dries. But with this wet method, I don't know if it's the wet method I should say, but storing it in here, at least it would give it some kind of moisture and it would give that consistency that I'm looking for. Because when I noticed that when I put it in my ceramic palette, when I want to use it, I have to activate it with water. It's dry, but I activate it with water. And then I noticed that it's not giving the consistency that I want. It's like watercolors, like me coming back to my watercolor palette and reactivating with water. So it doesn't have that thick consistency that I want. So I'm going to be trying this method and I'm going to be showing you how I mix it in here with honey. And on another palette, I'm going to be using honey and water, and I'm going to be using clove and a little bit of water in another bottle like this. I got this from Amazon. I'm going to be leaving a link also for this bottle. It's like it has a little pipette that I'm going to be putting in. I'm going to show you in a minute how I set up my bottles for the mixture. Stay tuned. Okay guys, this is what I have so far. I have the clove oil right here. This is the Handcraft Blends clove oil. I have the 2 glass bottles that I'm going to be using, and I've washed them just to sterilize them. I have this pipette. I have this 30 ml syringe. I have this 2 would I say toothpick that I'm going to be using to mix the gouache when I place it in here. And I have a funnel, 2 funnels in here. This is the marker, and I have the funnel that I'm going to be using to put the water inside my glass jars. I'm going to be just using one and put the other one aside. And I have my honey right here. I did not measure this honey. I'm just going to use this. When I say this is like half a teaspoon, and I'm going to mix it with purified water. I just decided to use purified water because I heard that the best thing to use is distilled water, but I'm going to be using this purified water. So I'm going to just take a little bit of water and mix it because it's thick right now. I'm going to just use this to mix it. This is going to be my first mixture. I have some, I want to mix it very well because I have some, I don't know, it looks like sugar crumbs in there and I don't want that in my mixture. So I'm just going to separate it. And I'm going to pour it in the first jar right here. Because I don't want that crumbs in there. Okay, that's done. And I'm going to put my water in there. I think I'm just going to fill it up to half. Okay, let's use the funnel again. I think that should be enough. And one thing I like with this company that I bought this funnels from is that they protected the pipettes in there. They covered them with a plastic covering so it would not, I guess, to make it sterile. So I'm going to label this so I don't confuse myself that this is the honey and water mixture. I just put this towel here just in case. I don't want to make a mess. And sorry for my voice. I'm recovering from a cold. That's why I sound congested. I wanted to postpone this video, but I said no, I'm going to do it today because I don't want to keep postponing it. So this is going to be honey and water, so I don't, because I'm making two mixtures so I don't confuse myself. Okay, I'm going to take this. And one thing I also liked about this, when I was searching and researching Amazon for what this glass jar, I wanted the transparent one because I know my teacher used the brown one like this one, and I wanted the transparent one so I could tell through the glass if there was some kind of contamination in it. I'll be able to see it. So that's why I got the transparent one. So that's done. I'm just going to shake it together. Shake it. So that's done. And then we're going to go to the clove and water. And so I'm going to wipe. I'm not going to use this, but I'm going to not use this now. I'm going to show you the first method my teacher used to mix the gouache. I'm going to set this aside over here and we're going to do this mixture. So what I'm going to do here, excuse me, is I use the different funnel. What I bought when I bought this glass jar, it didn't come with just only one or two of this glass jar. I think I had about 11 of them in there. So I have a lot. So it came with the two funnels, it came with the syringe, it came with the marker, and then it came with a lot of labels to use. So I'm going to just take, I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to take just half. I'm going to pull half in the syringe, should I say syringe, or the, like that, and put it inside the jar. And I think that's it. And I'm going to mix with the water. This smells nice too. I didn't know what clove oil is. This is my first time of experiencing it. When I went online, I was researching what could help me because I don't want to waste my gouache. I don't think it's a good idea to spend all that money purchasing art supplies and then at the ending it just gets mold, so you have to throw it away and you can't use it anymore. So that's, after shaking it, this is how it looks like. It looks cloudy. So I'm going to put the label on it. I'm going to just move this aside. Just put it right here. Okay. So I'm going to clean up this, and I'll be right back to show you how I start the process of mixing the clove and the gouache. I'm going to be using the My Mary Blue. Okay, I'll be right back. So I'm going to start by opening this and taking out the gouache. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 pieces in there. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to just start with the Negro Black. And what I'm going to do, this is the first method. Just going to mix it in here directly. Take some and put it in there. I am doing this with the clove oil first because I kind of have a feeling that this would work with the clove oil, because with the honey, some people complained that honey left some mold on their gouache, so they swore by using the clove oil. So I don't want to risk it and start with the honey. So what I'm going to do now is just put a drop, just a drop, not a drop, say in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that little toothpick thing that I showed you. I'm going to mix it. Give it a very good mix. So this is the first method. I don't know if I'm going to be using black a lot, but I'm just starting with that because definitely there'll be a time where I would definitely need to use black for some kind of on its own. And I can always take from here and mix it into any color if I want to darken or lighten any of the gouache. This one thing I noticed about this palette is it's very deep. So that gives me room to mix a little bit or just a lot of it. Okay, that is done. I feel like I've mixed it enough. And I have a good consistency right there. Okay, we have that done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe it with tissue right here. I am also a kind of person, I don't like wastage. So that's why I prefer this method to mix the gouache, and it's less messy. As you can see, I'm already staining the next container by the, I think it's less messy compared to mixing it in here first, adding the clove and water or the honey, and then pour it in here, because I can't use what's in here anymore. I feel like it's wastage. So I'm just going to gently tap it in there. Okay. And the next one is blue. And what I'm going to be doing is also, once I start with the blues, I'm going to put just blue here, and I'm going to add a little bit of white here. So I have 2 variations of blue. So I'm going to start with this. And the difference about Mirrorless I've noticed is that it's very thick compared to the other ones I've used. I have the Winston & Newton, as I said earlier, and I also have Royal Talent. And this is very thick. Very thick. The consistency is way different compared to the ones I've used before. So I'm making sure I'm pushing from the bottom here up, pushing up, and I'm just going to cover it. And I'm going to grab the white. Okay, let me finish this one first before I get the white. Let me put a little bit of clove oil in there. I think I'm going to add about two in here. Okay. And I'm mixing this one. This is just going to be blue. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So as you can, one thing that my instructor taught me was that you can mix as much color as you want. Like when you get to the red, you can add black. You can add, if you want it darker, you can add white if you want it very light. So that will fill your palette. You can have up to 24 colors by mixing either darker or lighter. So this is really, this is very, it's so beautiful. As I've added the drop of 2 drops of the clove, it's really beautiful, and the consistency is not too thick. So I'm going to add here in this one, I'm going to add white. I would say just maybe, yeah, that should be enough. And one thing I've noticed with gouache is that sometimes you will notice that some of the colors are very dark, and I mean, sorry, not dark, very thick, and some of them are they're not very thick. Like the white came out very easily compared to the dark blue and the black. So I'm adding one here because I see that the white, if I need more, I can always add more. So I'm just going to be mixing like that. You see how beautiful that is. Wow. Just make sure I have all the colors mixed well. And I think I'm going to do one more lighter blue. We will have more, okay, more white. But I have to be careful so I don't run out of white, because I don't want to mix my Reason and Newton. So I'm just gonna stop right there so that I have enough for my yellows, my greens. I might run out of the white. I might use the whole thing because I'm going to be mixing a lot of whites in some of the colors. So I have the lighter and the darker, dark blue or dark colors. So I think this one is good to go. I want to make sure that all the colors are mixed in very well. And I'm going to speed it up just so I don't hold you guys here. I'm going to speed it up. And I'll be back when I'm done. Okay. I'm going to move this aside and wipe my little mixer thing. I'm using a piece of cloth because I don't want to, I'm not a fan of wasting tissue. I'm not a fan of just cutting out tissue just because I want to wipe. So I just take some of this piece of cloth. I got them, you'd be surprised, I got them from AliExpress when I used to sew, and I just noticed that I wasn't using them, so I just cut them, and I can wash them again. So at least that saves the environment and my resource. I can use it again when I'm done. As you can see, I use it to wipe. When I'm done, I wash it again, and I keep using it instead of just wasting tissue. It saves me money and saves the environment. So I'm going to be back. I'm going to speed this up, and I'm going to fill as much as I can. But what we're going to be doing is just, if you want to be lighter, you can add white and more white and less blue, so you have a lighter shade of than this one. If you want it darker, you can add black to the blue. Then you start like that. But I'm just going to go following this pattern, and I'm going to see how many colors I can do. I must to make sure that I fill this up. So I'll be back. Bye. Hey guys, one thing I'd also wanted to share with you guys is when you are doing this, you can take a little bit of the color that you're putting on in your palette and place it on the top of your cap so that you get to know the color of your gouache. That's one thing I learned from my instructor. Even though you know that it is number 116, but she said it's a good idea so you can know how the color of your gouache, how it looks. That so by putting this on top, it helps you to know the color, the should I say the hue of the gouache in the tube that you're using. So I'm just gonna set this on the side right here, because if I put in there, it's going to stain, and I don't want that stain on my inside here. So what I'm going to do is just set it aside. When I'm doing that, I'm just going to place it on the side, and I'm just taking this little right here, and I'm just placing it right there. Just gonna place it right here. Those are the colors I've done so far. So far I'm enjoying the process. It doesn't seem tedious as I expected. I was expecting, and I can definitely see that I'm going to enjoy using this my Merry Blue gouache so far. And I've experienced something when I'm using gouache. You know, it's like once I touch the gouache, I start noticing like a taste in my tongue. I know it seems strange, but I'm very sensitive. I'm the kind of person that if I use any product, I can sense, I've had this little taste in my mouth. It's strange. That's why I could not use Paul Rubens. I noticed that when I was using Paul Rubens gouache, oh my goodness, all my taste, my tongue will have this it will have this taste on it. And every time the same thing when I used my Winsor & Newton, I have that taste on my mouth. So that's why I'm trying the My Merry Blue, because the My Merry Blue, it's a, I found out about My Merry Blue through Jana Raining. She also said, advised us that as artists that we're touching a lot of, we handle watercolor and gouache and so many acrylics for a long period of time. Some of these products are not properly made for safe, with safe, should I say, natural material. So just as an advice, she advised us that My Merry Blue is a good company that you can, rest assured that they use good natural products in their watercolor and their. So since then, I've once I finish using all my watercolors that I have Daniel Smith, I have the Winsor & Newton Cutman travel palette. Once I finish using that, I'm switching all the way to My Merry Blue. I'm not using any watercolor except My Merry Blue, even though they're expensive, but because I'm for my health. And as I said, I'm very sensitive to everything. Even when my hair is natural. When I try to look for like a gel, for my edges, just the gel that I buy from the store, from Walmart and other places, they burn my scalp. That's one of the reasons also that I turned natural, because there was no relaxer that I put on my hair that it would not burn my scalp. So that's one of the reasons I went natural. So the same thing for me, just like, I've always said it, that every time I order a product, I will leave a review. I will do a review on it. And as I was also using these products, I would notice that I would just have this taste on my tongue. And that's from gouache mostly, not from watercolor. It would just leave this taste in my tongue. Like, I would definitely know that I'm using, it's like I know, okay, yeah, I'm handling gouache right now, so I will have that taste in my mouth all day. And it doesn't happen to me for watercolor, but just only gouache. So because I have to take care of myself, I love being an artist, but I have to take care of myself, so that's why I'm switching to my Mary Blue. So once I finish my Winston & Newton gouache and my Royal Talent, I'm going to be sticking to my Mary Blue. So far, I'm not feeling, it's slightly, I would say I'm feeling something in my tongue right now. Like that taste, it's not as much as I noticed with the other two brands, which is Royal Talent and Winston & Newton. It's not as bad. So there's something. I went online, I researched, I Googled. I couldn't find anything. Why am I having this taste in my tongue once I handle anything that has to do with gouache? Why? But I couldn't find it. So for me, I just concluded there must be something they put it in there that I am reacting to. And on this one, I'm going to do just a regular red. I'm going to do the white, and I'm going to do the dark. I'm going to add black to this one. My goal is to fill all this palette, and I'm going to take a little bit and put it on the cap. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe here. I've been going through this cold, trying to recover from this cold for days now. So I'm going to speed it up again, so I don't, make it long and keep you guys watching for a long time. So I'm going to speed it up now. So guys, I've done red. I added a little bit of white here, and I added black, and then just a little hint of white here. I love the color that it gave me. It's between like a burgundy. So now what I'm doing now is this pink I'm going to be doing. It's a number 256, and I'm going to be putting it right here. And I already put some white in here to make it faster for me. So the next color is going to be the 278. That's burnt sienna, and I'm going to be adding white here. So I already put the white here, but I notice I'm bleeding some pink in here, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do right now is just put the pink here. Oh, that's a beautiful color. Okay, I put the pink in here, and I'm going to add some right here. Okay, and I'm going to swatch the top of my cap. Okay, let me add more in here. So I just want to use it up to half. Push it from the bottom, up, push up. Okay, and add more here. And that should be good. I'm just going to swatch the top here. Okay, and I'm placing it on the side to dry first. And when it's dry, I put it back in there. Okay, add in my clove and water here. I'm putting 2 in here. I'm excited to use this. And I'm mixing. Careful not to spill so that it doesn't go aboard. Because I noticed that when I mixed it with the clove and water, it becomes a little bit watery, and it was spilling going into the next box, and I don't want that. So I'm more careful now. I'm still going to use the same this. I'm not going to wipe it off because I'm just mixing white in here. And make sure that I put some clove. Put in 2 drops in there. Oh, that's so pretty. I really like this, the wells in here. I think it's not as messy if I had used this one. Let me show you. Where did I put it? Right here. This is another way you can do this. I got this from Amazon, but with this one, this is what my instructor used. She took I think this, would I say half pans? She put them in here just like I was doing. She placed it in there, put a drop in there of the clove and the honey, and she mixed it with like a little, you know, I just got this, what I say, Q-tip, mix it in there and dropped it in there. But I think for me that would be messy. I'm going to try it with the honey. Oh, I prefer this wells. They are deep and they hold more gouache in them compared to this ones. They're very small. Very small. But she said hers lasts up to a year. When she filled all of her little pans like this, it lasts up to a year. So I think with this ones, because this is 24, this is my first time of doing this method, so I don't know how long it's going to last me. As I'm also still learning digital art, I'm using Procreate, so I don't know how long it's going to last me. It depends on how much I get to use gouache. I also do watercolor, so the gouache is not only the medium I use for my work. So the next one I'm going to do now is this. I'm still waiting for this to dry. I don't want to place it in here because it's going to stain there. This is the brown sienna. And I'm going to put this in here. This is so smooth. It's coming out so smoothly. As I said earlier, some of them are very smooth. They're not as thick as, see how this one, you see how it just dropped in there? Compared to the other ones that I was mixing and they were just hard. I had to slide it to the side. This one is just dropping easily in there. So I'm going to add more here because I already put some white in here. Sorry again, I apologize for if I sound like I'm out of breath. I'm going to be going to the doctor tomorrow, God willing. Because I've been having this cold for days now. I'm going to just take some here. Just put it all over here. Okay, and then just place it right there so it will dry. Okay, and I add my clove and water. I'm not gonna add too much here because it's already easy to mix. It just dropped in the well so easily. I'm also gonna add, I'm gonna do more orange and see how it's gonna go. So I'm gonna speed it up in it, and then so that I can fill the whole palette. I'm gonna speed it up. Okay, here we go. Okay guys, I finished mixing the palette. I was able to mix a lighter green. I put a little bit of black in here and a little bit of green and black. Here I did green, a little bit of yellow and white. Here I did green, black and yellow. Here I added some blue and I added some black. Here yellow and some orange. And here I added little bit of orange and white. Here, pink and black. And here I added black and the burnt sienna. I added white in here, and this is just the original color. Here I added the white into the pink, and this is the original white. So here it's the pink, black, and here is just the red and white. So that's how I fill the whole 24 palette. I'm just going to leave it like it is, and I'm going to cover it. I believe it will not grow any mold in it with this. So every day, from what my instructor said, spritz it with a bottle of water and spray bottle, and spray it in there to keep it moist. So the goal is to keep it moist, so when you come with your brush to use it, it is not cakey or flaky or crusty. It retains its moisture. I've also heard that using a saran wrap to cover it will also preserve the moisture, but I have this cover. Let me see where the cover is. Okay, it's at the bottom actually. So this is it, and you just cover it up. That should retain the moisture, and I'm going to be checking it every day to see if there's any mold in it. Hopefully the clove will inhibit the growth of mold in it and keep it moist with water, as I said. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys will be able to get a good result on your own palette by mixing it with clove and water. Take care and bye.